Brown has time, throws it. Did he get the feet down? What an effort! Touchdown, Amendola! Back to Brady it comes. Just standing there like a statue as he unloads it. And it is caught by Dorsett! Stay loose as it's a 3rd and 18. Pocket sealed for a moment. Brady's able to throw it. And they convert on 3rd and 18.
All
That's
right,
a huge
all
play
right.
for the Patriots.
Can't piss off any more people than we already have. Tom
That
Brady
is
is
true.
the most hated man in America. We're not going to. I promise no more Patriots. We'll not play any more Patriots today. And I know it upsets people. People hate it. I've the most vitriolic social media attack I've ever gotten, and I write columns that are very opinionated. The vicious social media attack I ever got out of anything I've written, this is in the age of Trump, in the age of Hillary, in the age of Obama, was a column defending Tom Brady, where I had everybody on both political sides attacking me and really saying vicious stuff, and they found pictures of me and found pictures on Facebook and everywhere else.
Wow.
I don't have no idea where they found some of these pictures.
Wow. Well, I have to say, though, that you defended Brady?
Yeah, I wrote a column defending him.
Okay, because yesterday,
Yeah.
or 2 days ago, day before the big game, or whatever it was,
Yep.
you had projected that the game would be, what was the score you projected?
I think 31-28.
Jacksonville?
Right. But
Okay.
so yeah, I know, and I was wrong there. But when you're right in something like that, it really pays off big.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought Jacksonville. Well, either way, we can't remind people of the game anymore because it's going to make people really, Jay. You have no idea. People get pissed off. So I had somebody take a picture of my of like parts of my house and degrade it, saying, "Look at this rug. It looks like some like factory version or something."
Jesus. Were they recent pictures?
Oh yeah, in the last 10 years or whatever, or last 5 years, of the kids jumping and stuff. It was like they were really
Wow.
They were. I mean, I was obviously I look for attention, so I'm only thrilled when anybody mentions me, regardless.
Yeah,
if
right.
it's
You like
calling
that
me-
stuff.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother you.
No, I want to be. I like the mentions, but it was really well
What
done.
is that called? Digital trespassing or something?
Is
Or-
it?
I don't know.
Oh, God,
It seems like to me it
that's
would
a
be.
topic in itself. Not that I've ever done it or would do it.
No, not at all.
I don't
no,
know.
no.
I don't know. I wouldn't hang out with anybody who does. This is the I Shoulda Did More Reading podcast. This is Tom with Jay. Find us on Twitter. Shoulda Did More. We are actually nudging up into Twitter mentions and getting a couple of more people subscribing. I assume they're all pseudonyms for your brother. On Instagram, I shoulda 10 seconds to what?
No. I was just saying to remind everybody that this is our 10th episode.
Oh, I see. I see. In radio broadcast parlance, that would be 10 seconds.
Oh, is that right?
Right. And then you go to 5 seconds, and at 5, you start counting down the actual seconds with your fingers.
Oh, all right. That's
And
good to know.
something happens. So I figured at 10 seconds I have to do something.
Too late now.
So yes, this is. I should have did more reading on Instagram. It's been. I'll get better on Instagram. There's some more stuff on there. When Jay eventually gets around to it, he'll do something on social media in the name of Christ. Facebook.com. I should have did more reading. It's funny because you think in social media terms.
I do.
Your thoughts and quips and processes all are like already prepackaged for social media. But I understand why you hate it because it's a safe bet to hate it. Because
I don't think I hate it. I just.
Will you maybe sometime this year subscribe to the podcast?
I did already.
How is it? How are you finding it so far?
I don't like them.
I don't either. I'm disappointed. So this is the 10th one. So this is markedly different than the first one, which is the first one is the one you have to get out of the way. The website is I should have did more reading.com. Shoulda-did-more-reading.com. Email at. Are you checking the email?
No. I'll do that. I will do that.
I don't even have it. I
I'm a
should
bad
have did more
assistant.
reading at gmail.com. I should have did more reading at gmail.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. We're on Google Play, on Stitcher, on TuneIn. Well, the Get Lean in 18 challenge has
Been on hold.
Is in the shop.
Yes, it
currently.
is for now.
Yeah.
We're rewording the whole, or redoing the whole process
Yes.
and all that, and we'll have new numbers for you.
Yes, we've had a problem with a string of defective scales, suggesting an upward trend. Which is, so we play the only reason we play the Patriots stuff is because taking a step back from them and whatever you think about them, the fact is that they're good at football. They really are, and they're the best at what they do. Feel free to differ, whatever, disagree online or whatever, and whatever. But I mean, you here, neither of us are sports fans, but we watch them. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not really sports fans. We don't know anything about anything.
We're not obsessive by it. Yeah.
Right, but we don't have season tickets or anything.
Correct.
We don't go to any sports games really.
Not really.
Even kids games. And,
Maybe a game at the Fenway once a year or something. Nothing crazy, indeed.
Right. But with the Patriots, it's a little bit different because you're seeing this coach who's a football genius and a quarterback who can, turn that genius into execution on the field, and it's just a marvel to watch.
Yeah.
So it's like an event watching it. It's more like watching a comet or something in the sky, where it's an event to watch this while it lasts.
Absolutely. While it lasts, correct.
After they're done and he's gone and they're gone and we are out probably.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean,
especially since we got rid of Garoppolo.
Right. We are San Francisco Giants fans.
That's right.
Or 49ers.
49ers, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Giants is a baseball team. Yeah.
Okay, good. There you go. So we wanted to talk a little bit about being like the best at stuff. And two parts of it, really. One being how that would be to be the best at anything. And also the price of being the best, of course, is that you're hated. But we'll start with being the best at anything. Are you the best at anything? Anything.
I'll pass to you first. I'm the
You've
best
had
at
4
passing
hours.
things on. I know. Indeed. Am I the best at anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I don't think I am. I mean, why would I think that? I don't think so, no. I think I'm a really good furniture maker. I'm not the best at it.
At any particular part of it?
I don't know. I have this knack for it, I guess, a little bit. Not just furniture, but, cabinetry in general, furniture making and things like that. I do have this knack. I've never been able to perfect the craft because I have never been logistically in a right place at the right time to have space and tools, etc., and time, etc., and to be able to have the finances to be able to do that and make something of it without taking a big risk.
So what thing in life are you best at? It can be a hands-on activity, or it can be a intellectual activity.
I'm best at answering questions without really answering questions.
No, you're not. No, that I definitely know is not true.
No, I don't. I know you forwarded this idea to me about 4 hours ago or so, and I have been thinking a little. I was distracted a little bit. Today,
I can give it time. You want to take?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Here?
If you don't mind, I may be able to. Yeah, if you don't mind a lot of dead space for a while, that's fine.
Yeah, it's dead air.
Yeah,
this is 10
that's
seconds. Right. Dead air is total silence is dead air.
Okay, dead air.
And that's generally what it.
I'm learning the vernacular,
yes.
the language, as it were.
Yes. So this is, for instance, bad radio. So that's how you know. That's how you know. So I don't know. The best at something, I can tell you that there are things that I've become a master of. Like I became a master at very simple HTML.
Oh yeah.
Very rudimentary. Like this is 1999 HTML, and I became a master of it in 2003 just by having to do it forever and ever and ever and ever. And it's really simple. Computer programmers do not consider that a coding language. It's
that old.
Well, it's just so simple. It's really easy. Like a real programmer would like eat HTML for breakfast.
Is it still relevant?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, especially when you're using WYSIWYGs and other stuff to nudge formatting around and things like that. It's good to know. I certainly hope that teaching it in high schools rather than teaching kids typing, which I assume they're not teaching anymore. But it's good to know. It's good to rudimentary knowledge. It's good to know what's on the to have a good idea of what's on the back end of a website.
Yeah,
that's important. So that I'm good at. So I will say that there are times when, like writing, that there are times when I hit a thought or articulate a thought or express a point that is absolutely right. It's almost as if it's like coming up with a really funny joke with a punchline that really works. And it's,
I will agree with you. I've read all of your columns, and just a recent one about throwing the grenade and having the grenade,
right.
Throwing the pin instead of the actual grenade.
Yeah,
was a great close to that article that you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Although
that's fantastic.
There's no way that's mine. I mean, I think that's got to be I assume there's no way I made That's been in movies before where the guy holds the.
Oh, sure, certainly, yeah. But the way you used it in the context you did is fantastic.
It's funny because that last one, and we won't say what it's about, but that last one was. I found a lot of. I'm uncomfortable with that last one, just for. But you're always going to be if you do anything creative and you hang yourself out there. You always, if you bother to look back at it, which is a mistake. For instance, with these podcasts, you have a lot of people who listen to themselves again and again and again. A lot of broadcasters watch and listen again and again and again, and it gets under their skin. There's things they want to fix and things, but the best of the best just do it and walk away.
I have not listened to a single episode.
Yeah, I mean, because we know how bad they are.
Because it's painful.
Because we're there during the recording. We know how lackluster. Exactly. We know, like these. Anybody listening right now doesn't realize that they've wasted 6 minutes and they're going to waste more minutes. They are holding out hope that it's good. We will have known an hour from now how not worth it was.
Yeah, sorry, Phil.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, Phil. Once again, Phil, what's the definition of insanity? I mean...
over and over again.
Yeah. So I think there are things like that. I do think as well that... I think everybody's good at something.
Yeah, I'm not that great at anything where people would hate me for being that good at it, though. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't write opinion pieces, but
yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want to put myself out there like that. I mean, this for me is a stretch. Actually, I think this doing this podcast is exhilarating. It's out of my comfort zone. You know, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not comfortable with social media. So everything is out there, and I think it's fantastic. So I like stretching my legs a little bit and doing something different. But I'm certainly not the best at this or, at anything else, really. I mean, I strive. Anything I do, I strive to be good at, and that's about it. But,
so what is your best talent? You are technically...
Talent? Now
you're technically a funny guy, technically.
Although that hasn't shown. Maybe in the next 10 to 20 episodes.
Yeah, come back in 10.
No.
Although that's so what that is, I mean, to have a certain standard for content before you say it, to want to make sure that something's so funny or creative, etc. I mean, that is that's at least striving to be the best.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically I am. People say that I'm funny. The thing is, though, I'm not funny 100% of the time. I'm funny maybe, I don't know, just to be generous, maybe 60% of the time. And it's all about the timing. And
only 30% of that.
And 20% of that is, yes, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, I just keep trying. I bomb a lot of times, I like to be funny, but it's absolutely not funny all the time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, like right now.
Well, right now, or like... yeah, you do repeat. You're not afraid to repeat. Then again...
Thanks very much. Yeah. Thanks very much.
So I don't know what Soylent Green is. Do you know what it is?
Soylent Green? Indeed. Yeah. It's a...
Is it people?
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Charlton Heston.
Right. And Phil Hartman from SNL did the Soylent Green is people
That's
skit.
Right.
And you beat the crap out of that for many... We're into our third decade.
No way. It was a year in Beacon Hill when I was shouting it from the rooftops.
And you'd take a traffic cone and use that as a megaphone.
I continue to do that to this day.
I know.
I think that's funny.
Yep. Yeah.
People are very uncomfortable when I do that.
Yeah. It actually makes me angry to think about it.
I know. That's why I do it.
It's a different animal.
Yeah.
So, what are some other...
Soylent Green is people, though.
No, it is not. They would have had that in the movie. That's not the one with monkeys, right?
No, just people turned into green goop to eat. They feed them with Charlton Heston, of course. But you do know that our friend Mr. Ward was sleeping in Beacon Hill one night, and he woke up to hearing that shouted from the rooftops. Soylent Green is people.
I'm not.
What's that? Chris Gibbons. I don't know which one that was.
Gibbons.
Well, anyway.
Ward lived there, and I don't think Gibbons really did.
That's right. So that was
where
Ward.
Gibbons lived. Where did he live before he?
Brighton. He lived at the Best Western on Comm Ave.
No, but that was later. He lived somewhere else before that. Remember, he had to go to the Best Western because he had an issue at the Marriott.
Oh, that's correct. There was yes.
There was a transactional
that's right.
oversight.
Discrepancy.
Right.
Indeed.
Where did he live then?
I don't remember, actually. That's a good question. This guy, Mr. Chris Gibbons, who we forgot to have a toast for him on Sunday evening while we were watching the AFC Championship, because he died, I think, about 8 or 9 years ago, and we looked at the date and the time, and it looks like he was coming home probably from a AFC or NFC Championship game that night, because he loved football, and he passed away in a single car accident. That was unfortunate. But anyway, I've been meaning to mention him.
We're not the best at memorializing dead friends, I would say.
I know. Oh, well, that's the first one.
Let me ask you, are you any good at fishing?
I am not good at it, no. I like to fish.
Are you good at cleaning fish?
I know how to do that, indeed.
Are you good at it?
I'm fine, I guess. Why?
I don't know that I trust you. I'm trying to help you here.
Yeah, no, I know how to clean fish.
You did take a Dale Carnegie course.
I did. Yeah, public speaking. I did do. I did go hunting. We caught a.
You did?
Yeah, we went hunting a few times, many times actually.
You and Phil Barr
along the Merrimack River.
Yeah.
With a snare, but also up in Maine we used to go hunting too. Didn't really catch much up there, but yeah. I wasn't a fan of killing
things hunting?
I wasn't a fan of killing animals, to be honest. So I never really carried the gun. I sort of went along with it.
Jesus.
Which made me, what is that called?
Most of this should be in the cutting room floor, I think, about you. This is... My God.
Yeah, no, I'm not that interesting.
Were you the spotter?
I was. I was a flusher. Not the fluffer, the flusher. I was sent out into the woods to run and flush them out if I could. So.
Have you ever climbed a tree and got a coconut?
These are strange questions, but yes, I have.
There you go.
There you go.
That's something that only you and monkeys can do.
Monkeys?
Yeah.
No, I did. I did that Valentine's Day in 1995.
Would you say that your acumen sexually is up in the highest percentile?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question because I don't want to brag,
Right, especially if it's based on something that's untrue.
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for asking
Can
that
you
question.
sing? Are you a good singer?
Negative. I'm not afraid to go up there to sing a karaoke song now and then and again. I don't like doing it, but if I have a couple of frosty beverages, I'll go ahead and sing, Total Eclipse of the Heart or Little Sister or something like that. Yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
I'm asking the questions here for the moment.
All right. I don't like this grilling.
Have you cut
What's
glass?
this thing wrapped around my chest? Have I what?
Cut glass.
Maybe once or twice. Sure.
And made anything with the cut glass?
No, I just cut it.
Pains. Okay.
Yeah, pains, exactly. Straight up.
Have you done a citizen's arrest?
No, negative.
Have you lit a grill in a storm?
Probably.
Really?
I think so.
Have you pickpocketed anybody?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Have you flown anything that needs flying? Other than a kite?
No.
Have you flown a kite?
Yes. Yeah, not good at that. This is a show about what we're not good at, right? As if it is, there's plenty of material for that. Yeah, no.
Have you given yourself stitches?
No. Have you? Jesus.
Didn't I send you a picture earlier?
Oh, that is awful. I don't want to even talk about that.
Have you, you can make a good cocktail.
Yes, I do make a good cocktail.
Yeah.
You would old-fashioned.
It'd be hard to tell here with this, because I have just a Miller Lite here.
Yeah, well, it is a Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can make a good old-fashioned and maybe a really good mojito. Several other things. You got to know the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you cook a good breakfast?
Indeed.
Like, what is it?
Well, what do you want? I mean, I don't know.
Hot dog?
Sure, I guess.
All right.
Would you like the Casey Kasem left on, or do you want a natural, uncured, caseless hot dog?
What's the difference?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It has a snap to it. You know the hot dogs that have a snap to it that are linked.
Oh yeah,
it's intestine, right? It's what you like. Tripe. It's part of the tripe.
Tripe, dude. Tripe's
yeah, but it's wrapped
cow's stomach. It's not different. It's
exactly. No, it's the same.
It's not at all.
Absolutely the same.
It's completely. It's not. It's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
Wrapped in tripe.
Have you milked a cow?
No, but I think I would know how to do that, being a man and all.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Go ahead. Next question.
What else do you milk?
Anything with tits you can milk. Is that allowed?
No.
Oh, we'll have to delete that.
Yeah, I got to mark tape.
Nipples. How's that?
Let's see. Have you jumped? Have you done parachute jumping or whatever that's called?
I will not do that.
And why not?
I don't like the feeling of falling.
Well, how do you know it feels like that?
I dove off a cliff, as I mentioned in the past, and I don't like that. And I don't like the big ship going back and forth at the Canopy Lake. You know how when you start coming down, you have everything just sits there in limbo for a second as you come down. I don't like that feeling.
Oh, that's that big,
the big ship there, or whatever.
Like flying buccaneer thing.
That's right.
Other places have had that. As
yeah,
well.
I don't like that.
Plus,
why jump out of a plane? That just seems absurd. I know people like it. I'm sure it's pretty cool, but I will not be doing that. Thank you very much. I think my aunt did it for her 60th birthday.
Can you fix a car?
I can fix the old cars. You know the
Studebakers.
Any old car. You know, with the straight V6 engines or whatever. You know, the starters and the distributors and the solenoids and all that. I used to change all those, but now I wouldn't be able to do that.
Where did you do that?
Just my own or whatever. I don't know. Just if I needed it fixed. You know? Why is this all about me? I'm getting a little nervous here.
All right. The other thing that we haven't really found a talent that you want to espouse, but you must have one.
I do have an odd talent. If you want to hear about
what is it?
I can identify a city just by looking at the skyline. Most cities.
That's a great talent.
It's weird, but it's something.
I wish we could test this. Well, I don't want to blow it up right here if it's all we've got.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's an interesting talent, but it's one that I have. I don't know.
So let's say anything with a space needle, perhaps you might be able to.
Well, there are a couple of cities that have space needles.
Well, what is obviously Chicago? We know New York. We know
what space needles.
Boston. We know.
Oh, you mean skylines?
Like you wouldn't know Austin, Texas, by the skyline, would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't know Austin. I wouldn't know.
How would you know Austin?
By the buildings.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
Yeah, definitely. Philadelphia, Jacksonville.
Oh yeah. Florida.
There are in every city. There are buildings that are very distinctive. Like for example, Jacksonville, which has that Wells Fargo building that has the base of the building is curved down to the ground and it has the inlet, the harbor in front of it. It's pretty interesting stuff. But anyway, must be good for our listener.
Yeah, it is. We've come to a talent.
Oh, good.
Not everybody has a talent. Something that they're good at. You've got that.
Oh, thank you.
Citing skylines. I can do something like that too.
Oh yeah, good. Are you just saying that?
I could identify a song. Even it's at an almost sub-audible limit, just by hearing.
The first two notes or whatever.
Not just notes; it's just something that's usually too low to be able to hear.
Oh, I see.
Usually, I can identify if I know the song. Unfortunately, I haven't been paying attention for 20 years. So,
what's the song that precludes our podcast?
I don't know what that is.
All right.
No. I'm saying if I know the song, I can pick it out.
Oh, I see.
By the notes, it's not a. It's one of those things, probably like your skyline thing. That's just a personal,
an odd little savant.
Nobody
thing.
will ever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Savant means. I don't think it's even that good. I don't think that's a smart person thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Patriots are the Belichick and Brady obviously are hated. Belichick's hated, and he's the boss.
Yeah.
Have you worked as a boss and been hated by employees, but had to just go in there anyway?
Yeah. You too. Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Go ahead. What's an example?
Just everywhere I go. No, it's because there's always people, employees that don't want to do the minimum, they don't care, and those are the people that usually hate me. The other reasonable employees are awesome, and they usually love my style of management, which is give them what they need to do, show them what they need to do, and do it, and I'll leave you alone. But the other people that don't want to work at all, yeah, they hate me. But usually it's the unreasonable people, the people that don't want to be there or don't give a crap about anything. That's all. And I know that's everywhere you go, and I'm sure you experience that too,
Yeah.
Especially in your line of work where you have a vision and it may not align with everybody there, but you still have to push forward with it and stay strong.
Yeah, but and certainly I've been in a position where you get promoted above people and they all wanted the job that you got promoted to, and now they work for you, and they've all hated me.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one guy called me over in a restaurant. About 3 or 4 guys who used to work for me were sitting in the restaurant, and and one guy called me over and said, "Hey, come here," and one guy said, "Hey, a-hole, what's going on?" So he called me over just to call me an a-hole.
What the?
That was it. These are guys in their 30s. Okay.
Unbelievable.
These are the same guys who every year I would spend my Christmas bonus to buy them presents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a lesson learned there.
Yeah, but that in your industry is a pretty cutthroat industry, and especially around here where it's a small piece of the pie.
This is radio market stuff. Yeah. I also had them. Years later, one of the guys was at that table. Actually, ended up working with me again, and said, "Yeah, I remember." He said to me, "Yeah, I remember you got that promotion. We were all just totally depressed. Like 7 of us were sitting there, and we were just depressed that you got that promotion." and my thought was, you baby, you child,
absolutely.
Sit around getting depressed. Just go out and get a promotion. Go
exactly.
and do rather than
better.
Sit there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, I have no time.
Well, you had a plan the whole time, and you started at the very, very bottom, got your foot in the door literally, and barely, and pushed yourself forward. That was pretty incredible the way you did that.
My job was to watch the door. That's the male receptionist.
Right. That's
it's
unbelievable, really.
Yeah, is this Dana?
Let's
I tried to
see,
entice
I do
her.
need to pick her up.
I've tried to entice her already, with if I tried to entice her and ask her if she wanted to have a beer, she suggested that she was sick. Now, to me, if I was sick right now with a cold and nothing more than a cold, then I would certainly entertain the idea of enjoying a lager.
We did that last week. I think it was on a Tuesday night, and we tried to invite. Yeah, well, we
that's
invited,
behind my back.
That's right. Yeah, we invited your neighbors, and they came
JVB.
over. Yeah, it was at 4:00 in the afternoon, and we decided to have some Frosties. But you were busy. You were on Neckin doing a show.
I was on color TV, doing badly. I had no words at my disposal. Yeah, I'd like to. There's something I could get better at. That takes reps, repetition.
Yeah. So you're right. Dana, at times, she has a window opportunity that she will imbibe.
Well, why don't we try to pressure her?
We can try, but she has been
sick.
feeling sick. Yeah, she doesn't have a history of.
She doesn't.
No, not at all. Not like us. No.
We need to give her a history of.
Oh, we should start one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll try. We'll give it a shot. See, I mean, it is Tuesday night. She is working from home tomorrow, so maybe we should do that.
Let's
take a caller. Oh wait,
I'm meeting
we don't
with
have
the Bobs.
the ability to do that.
I'm meeting with the Bobs tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, well I saw him this weekend at home. So
you did?
No, you are meeting with the Bobs.
Yeah, I have the Bobs. I'm supposed to be with the Bobs today.
Investment firm.
This is the original investment firm.
Oh, okay.
To try to tell them that I'm
good enough. Good asset.
Yeah, although I don't. But well, first of all, I'm not a good asset, so there's that, and also. I'm just not that enthusiastic about the process of talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody is. I'm sure they're not enthusiastic about having to do it.
Well, take a page from The Office then. Tell them how much do you think that the business sucks and that everything and everyone around you suck. And they say, you know what? We're going to promote you and put at least 3 people under you.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, exactly.
I used to want to. I was so sick of having crappy jobs. I don't know, but if you were the same, I was so sick of having crappy jobs that I was just dying to have a job in my 20s where I'll do data entry. Just give me something with a real adult desk, an adult phone, and maybe someday a real business card. And
well, we had the same experience too. We were working in the awful industry of where the customer's always right, and that would be the hospitality/hotel industry. So that was awful to work in that environment. It gets.
I do miss part of it though. I miss some of it. I mean, there's no.
What parts do you miss?
I miss having friends there, having people to socialize with. You're all in the same struggle when you work in a hotel. The manager is dumb and the guests are terrible, and so you have this bond a lot of times, and it's very sociable. Maybe we're old. It's not as if I'd go to the Hub Pub every night now. Anyway, so times have changed.
You did then though.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the restaurant industry and things like that, and everyone goes out after, and it's very incestuous that way.
Oh, totally.
It was very fun though.
Oh, it was a blast.
And I did the front of house for a while, which was dealing with the guests, which was a pain in the butt, and then I did more of a sales account management, and that was a little better, but still, Marriott was a great learning. It was fun we learned a lot from that company, but I don't want to ever be in that environment again. I don't want to be where the customer's always right again. It sucks.
If you were given what celebrity right now would you most, if you were given permission, add to your freebie list?
Let's see. Let's start off with Emily Blunt.
Do I know her, Emily Blunt?
Sure, she was in movies. No,
Yeah.
I can't think of any right now. She is the girlfriend of.
She was Aaron Rodgers, right? No.
No. I'll let me look. Are you looking it up?
No,
Yeah, Emily Blunt was on. I think she was on Gulliver's Travel. I mean, that's a weird, bad movie, but that's one of them. She was also in. She was in a ton of stuff. Oh, she was in Devil Wears Prada. The secretary to. What's her name?
Okay. I'd have to see the piece again.
Yeah. I know. I've never seen it. Or did I?
It's a great movie.
Well, what's her name?
Devil Wears Prada is a great movie.
It's not the boss, but the
assistant.
Yeah, not her either. It's
or the model.
The model. Yeah.
That was a great movie.
What about your choice for Free Pass?
Let's see. I would have to say, I think Rachel McAdams is just about perfect.
Still, my good. I think she's.
Well,
just...
I don't see anybody else these days. I mean, certainly a roll in the hay with Kate Upton is obviously that is an excellent thing. I mean,
okay, good.
But Rachel McAdams, I always like that look. Those.
Yeah, she is definitely girl next door kind of look. You know.
Like she's beautiful. I think she's beautiful. But I mean, it doesn't take too much. The one the before Rachel McAdams was big, there was another one with red hair who's in like all the movies with.
Oh, sure.
Superheroes now.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
The red hair one, whatever she is. She's right there.
She was in the Tokyo one there.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one with Bill Murray. She was in her underwear a lot. Kristen.
That's not it.
Heather Johansson.
That's right.
Scarlett Johansson.
That's right.
ScarJo.
Yeah, ScarJo.
Yeah,
she's cute. Of course, we have Mila Kunis.
Doesn't do anything for me. Nope.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. No. I don't, I'm not a huge fan. Oh well, no. There's some obscure ones, but it's not gonna help. Did you feel that? Do you feel that you would have the wherewithal if you saw any of these women to say hi to them?
Of course, I've done that. Like you're talking about approaching a famous person and saying hello, whether it be anybody.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, remember the Hill Pub in Boston? Of course, she wasn't as beautiful as Emily Blunt or anything.
Marisa Tomei.
Marisa Tomei.
She's gorgeous.
And
Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino were there, and I approached both of those guys.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, she is gorgeous.
They were interacting with people a lot.
They were.
She was fantastic.
She was. I think that might have been 1996 or something like that. They were down at the Hill Pub.
Later.
Yeah, maybe 97. So I know they were acting together in a play in Boston at the time, and we happened to find out that they were there, so we went down there and checked it out.
Probably 97.
I approached both of them and shook their hand or whatever, and I think their entourage, their protectors or whatever.
They were hangers on. They were terrible.
They called me an a-hole and things like that.
Yeah, they were terrible. They were all fellow actors, local actors doing the play and trying to
not representing them at all, but
trying to just suck up and trying to be whatever.
Exactly.
They were jerks. But remember that then later the next day the Herald slammed them.
Oh, is that right?
In the Boston Herald, for being drunk and
she was on a bar. Yeah, she was.
But she was fine. They were great. It was not a fair thing, but that's what when they get you.
That's true.
You got to look out. Don't piss anybody off.
Yep.
Obviously, that bartender who was a moron. Remember, they wanted to keep it open. They said, "Come on, keep it open." And he's like, "No, we got to." It's like, shut up. You have. That's when Tarantino was Tarantino still.
Exactly.
And Tomei had just a couple of years before won an Oscar.
Oh, I know, unbelievable. But the thing is, this is the Hill Pub, right?
Right.
At the time, it just opened, if I recall. Right. It was almost just a few weeks or a year or something like that. Yeah.
You keep those doors open.
I know. I would.
And you send the signal to celebrities that's the place where you go.
Yeah.
You don't send the signal to that's the place that you don't go.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, they screwed themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then we saw Seabass. Remember we saw Seabass. Other people we saw, or I approached Johnny Knoxville, Mike Ditka. A lot of other people.
Seabass, you mean Cam Neely?
Cam Neely, of course, Cam Neely. Remember he was at that club behind. Were you there? Yeah, that swing club or something. I don't know if it's still there or not, but
it is there. It's called the Good Life.
That's right.
That's the other Good Life. You like the Good Life?
Yeah, I do. Indeed.
That was a good bar. That was a good night actually. McIntyre was there too with New Kids.
That's right. Oh, he was.
So Tarantino's a great example of a guy who a lot of people thought was the best director of the '90s, or maybe some people think of all time.
Yeah,
with Pulp Fiction, etc. And he's a guy who was purely a movie geek.
Yeah,
remember he worked at Blockbuster or whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Four Rooms too. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that's a brilliant film.
It's in a hotel.
Yeah,
Is Madonna
exactly.
in it?
Oh yeah, I believe she is actually.
Buscemi, is he a bellman or
That's
something?
right. Yeah. It's a great movie.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, that's right. Somebody's having a card game or something at the end, and everybody shoots themselves or something, and Buscemi's alive. Or he's one of the only ones who are...
exactly.
He's a bellman. Yeah, he just sees everything.
He is. He's phenomenal. Or is it Steve Buscemi? There's another guy who looks like him that played a great part in that as a bellman. I'll think of his name. But anyway, yeah.
Poor bellman.
I know, indeed. You were a bellman. In fact, wasn't I actually sort of your boss a little bit at one time? Yeah. How was I as a boss?
Wasn't not well liked.
Like a very little.
Not well liked.
Yeah, no, I didn't have direct. I didn't have direct supervision over you. I don't think.
I liked all my bosses. They
Yeah.
terminated me, but I liked them. I had it coming. I was
Yeah. No,
a bad worker. I was a bad worker with a good attitude.
I know, which made it difficult for the bosses.
They didn't
right?
feel great about firing me.
No.
But it was time. It certainly was time.
Oh boy,
I do miss some of that stuff though. Just working for tips and things when you get
punch in, punch out.
to get cash.
Yeah,
I have
cash.
to punch in where I am now. You know.
Oh, you do?
We all do have to punch in.
Wow, that's so unusual.
I mean, I have a punch card and you're supposed to, but I also do the payroll, so
I see.
my name. but everybody has to.
This is good that it comes out before your interview tomorrow with the Bobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Maybe post this after that.
So I don't even know. Like, I also wouldn't, if they say, you know what, we want to keep you, and as a matter of fact, we like the idea of this, and we want to put you regionally running some stuff.
Yeah. Have you already embraced the fact that you'll be moving on?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, I will not be surprised, but it matters. A big job regional manager or something, although they haven't asked me that. I mean, that would be work.
Yeah.
I mean, not the fun kind of work. That's like work.
Yeah, no, I
I
understand.
don't want to be some...
Maybe it's time for something. How long have you been there now? 5 years? Oh, less than that. 4 years?
This will be 5... It's 4.5 years.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost 5 years.
All right. Yeah, it's a good amount of time for one place, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice to have something new, to do something new, to stretch your mind a little differently.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely.
Yeah. Ever since I started getting these good jobs, really, it's been like 5 years.
Yeah.
All these places close and change, but it's fun. I mean, I'm spoiled. It's a dream job.
Well, you've had a good run, that's for sure.
And they
Hopefully
send you
continues.
places. I've been to
Super
I've met
Bowl.
everybody's Super Bowl a couple of times.
Yeah.
To the point now where since I'm not going, I'm going to miss seeing some of the people. There's these national PR people that walk around.
Yeah.
A lot of them are crazy and insane, but I miss them. They're good at their jobs.
Yeah.
They're really good PR people. They're all they do is pitch celebrities, usually
Yeah.
D-listers. And
did you chase Katy Perry down last year?
I chased her 3 years ago.
Oh, okay, all right.
I meant to be asking her a question, but I only ended up stalking her.
Yeah, I look like a creep.
Yeah, that was she's pretty in person,
Yeah.
and she was actually sweeter than I thought she'd be. And I was going to ask her a question. I couldn't get it within earshot, and I kept waiting to get closer. And I was as close as we are here finally. But then I had security people saying, "What are you?"
Yeah.
I was totally paparazzi. I didn't mean to, but you had that greasy feeling.
of course,
It's like,
of course.
Man, they think
I'm sure if you're not aggressive, you won't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely got it. I mean,
yeah.
you have to, like with anything, like with those finding fun or whatever, you have to learn to break all the rules. 'Cause
Yeah,
all the fun
indeed.
is behind other doors.
Yeah, and you have to be different, and you have to be creative, and you have to you can't be status quo. You need to push the limit all the time, I imagine, especially what in that industry, because people want new, better, especially what's going on with terrestrial radio and newspapers and all that stuff. I mean, all you got to do is think of something different, and you're way ahead of I mean, that must be pretty exciting. It's a volatile time right now, isn't it? I mean, you can't imagine.
Yeah, it's a volatile time for traditional media, but it's also an extremely exciting time for all this new media and all these new platforms and different stuff happening. It's crazy. It's insane. It's fun. But everybody, I mean, we're broadcasting now a broadcast that will be in a platform where a good, third of the world's population could stumble into it.
Yeah.
It's like, and this
I know, it's amazing, right?
It's crazy. Yeah. It's awesome.
A different age.
That's why I worry about kids, because they have everything immediately.
Yep, everything's right at their fingertip.
Everything is there, and that's like you just said finger picks.
Yeah.
When I was learning how to play the guitar, and I wanted to play a Beatles song, you could either have somebody show you, if you're lucky enough to have somebody show you,
Yeah.
or you could go buy the chords if you went and bought a songbook with a bunch of Beatles songs or a bunch of whatever.
Yeah.
And then you could do your best there. But
Yeah.
you'd have to go and get a songbook
Yeah, right.
for one song or a few songs. Now all the songs are available for free. You
Yeah.
can certainly hear them for free. You can
Yep.
see the... I went to this in 1986. I went to Beatle Magic 86, which was this convention of Beatles. And back then, there was still a chance. You were hoping, that the remaining three might still get back together.
Oh yeah.
And so Pete Best was there, and it was a big event in Boston, and they had all this. You could buy all of these bootleg copies of everything. Them hanging around in Perth, Australia,
Nice,
and all
nice.
this other stuff. All these bootlegs, everything there that you could buy, some of which I bought over the years, is now on the internet.
Yeah,
free.
that's unbelievable. You can get anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can learn anything. You can
Yep.
learn the exact chord. You could learn how to build a house, or whatever it is. Anything. It's
Yeah.
absolutely great. In fact, you can embellish your resume and learn it online if you want to. If there's a certain requirement that they have, all kinds of stuff.
Well,
It's
that
unbelievable.
brings us back to what we're talking about
Yeah.
here, being the best that you can be.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
Yeah.
It's like if you were to tell somebody, if you were to even tell us of 25 years ago, hey, by the way, there's going to be a way to learn everything on Earth, all the knowledge in the world you guys can get.
Yeah.
You would figure,
You take a little time out of your day.
yeah. I mean, there is. You would figure that there's something better than that beer. I mean, you'd figure door A would be one to go to.
Yeah. No, indeed.
Get
Indeed.
everything.
To improve
my
yourself.
brother, not my brother, my friend Bill, in 93 or 94, had the internet when it was brand new, essentially.
Oh wow.
And I remember him saying, "Watch this," and he was on a website, and there was a thumbnail, which is a picture that it was around the size of your thumb, and so he clicked on it, and it was a naked girl. And it took like 48 minutes. Might as well have been cooking a turkey for it to download, to compile.
Did the pin pop out when it was ready?
Uh,
Yes, yeah.
so to speak.
Easy. Hey, take it easy.
I
I gotta go pick up my wife.
taking off?
Yeah, I think I need to there, sir.
All right. So do I wait or do I go? Or
No, definitely stay. Hang
You
around.
coming back?
Look through my drawers if you want to.
should
whatever.
I keep talking?
Absolutely. If you can fill in the dead air, as it were,
How long do I have?
you have as long as you want. This is
Well,
free.
how are you coming straight back upstairs?
10 minutes. I'll be gone 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a shot.
Leaving Will down to watch.
All right. So I'm ostensibly watching your son,
Don't talk about me.
who's downstairs. Yeah, there will be things said in the next few minutes. So, about the internet. Just thinking, I know it's not a new thought, but can you imagine having everything? Even, I mean, I do. I don't want to sound like an old person and say, "Oh my goodness, I'm not going to learn anything," but just simple navigation stuff. To not be able to navigate your way, to a destination because you don't know where anything's laid out, because Waze does it for you, or whatever you use now does it for you. GPS. I mean, there used to be a time when you would have to have some basic navigational skills, or else you just drive around town and get lost and remember things, and it's in your mind. That whatever was in your mind to make sure that you're remembering and mapping out, the directions that you've used to go to places. That muscle doesn't get used anymore. It's unused muscle now. There's no reason for people to have it. Nobody young has it. And so I was really upset, and I shouldn't have gotten upset, but I've been, like Jay said, we've both worked in hospitality for a long time, and so when people used to call and ask for directions, I've given directions to my places of work about 58,000 times, and so I am over it. I still get upset when somebody wants directions to places. Believe me, if you've been in hospitality or retail or whatever, then you know what this is like. It seems like it's a simple enough request from somebody, but if you've done it thousands upon thousands of times, and people keep making the same mistake on the phone with you, and you've had enough, when you say, "All right, Storrow Drive," and then you're going to drive up Cambridge Street. Cambridge turns into Tremont Street. Wait, hold. It turns into, what does that mean? No, it turns into Tremont Street. Tremont, T-R-E-E. Anyway, it's understandable, but when you hear it again and again and again and again and again, then it wears on you. And when you're working in hospitality, you hear this stuff again and again. When you work with people at all, again and again and you can't get away from it. I remember when we used to get flower deliveries, I'd walk with the flowers upstairs and or to the guest room, whatever, and everybody would pass would say, "Oh, for me, oh, for me, oh, for me," which seems like a cute thing to say, and maybe I would have said it or something. But there comes a time when you've heard that for 8 years straight, where you can't even force yourself to smile anymore. That's when it's time to leave hospitality. But you just hear it and you just go. You've got a test pattern in your mind. Just Jesus. Here we go. Oh, for me. Oh, you shouldn't have. I know. I don't want to kvetch too much, brother, because there's some wonderful things. I've met my best friends in the world. All of them, all my best friends, really, at hotels in doing these jobs, and there's wonderful people and wonderful experiences. For some years I thought I was better than my job, but now I realize now I've got a cooler job. I kind of do radio and work at a newspaper for the time being. But I realized just how much learning those hospitality skills and practicing how again and again and again how important those are, and those translate to just your back and forth with people, your general demeanor. It's hugely important. I never thought it would be, and I've been mad at people suggesting that before, saying that, oh no, these are important skills to use, but they really are. There's something about interfacing with thousands of different kind of personalities, some of whom are angry at you, some of whom are angry at other people, some of whom are thrilled with you, some don't like you, some do like you. Some really need your help, and you can help them and just change their day and make them make the whole family happy. There was one time, or conversely, it can make the whole family sad. There was one time I sent somebody to watch the 4th of July fireworks in the Charles River, and I sent her to this where she wanted something on the Charles River that she was asking. It was a tough ask because it gets pretty packed over there. So anyway, I sent her to this restaurant that overlooks the river and overlooks the fireworks. But some people all stood up from their seats and crowded into the windows, so she and her family kids couldn't see the fireworks anymore. So she blamed me. She came back and said, that was the worst experience I've ever had. You ruined our 4th of July. And she went up into her room, and that was it. That's the last I've ever heard. I'm not really in charge of free-roaming Americans outside of my purview. These are just people crowding the window. It wasn't my fault. But still, it wasn't a great thing to hear. But generally, you could also make people very happy as well, which I liked. I used to like taking care and talking to the Old World War II guys. They always had the best stories and a great sense of humor, and they were just fascinating. You got to meet so many of these great people. Met this division of, I guess it's not a division, but a bombing squadron guys who flew B-17s in World War II and bombed Germany. And they had this reunion every year. So this is about 95. And they had this reunion every year. And they were the biggest bunch of characters. They were so fun. They were having a great time. They were eating and drinking and swearing and carousing. They were so great. And I remember I went up there and bought a couple of pins from some of their logo pins from them. And I still have them. And I love them. I loved these guys. The stories they told. And they were thrilled to talk to you. They were thrilled to talk to you. We were working guys then, so we all had uniforms and name tags. But I remember just asking them, like, what did you do? And the tail gunners and pilots and this and that, and them saying that. And we had talked to a bunch of these vets, and they said you should talk to Atkins. You should talk to Atkins. And there's some guy named Atkins in there somewhere. I couldn't find him, and I said, why should I talk to him? And he said, Atkins has the best stories that you'll like, because we were young guys. He said, Atkins, this guy, a pilot or an officer on a plane, went after the war was over in Europe. He didn't come back home. He just stayed over there and lived like a rock star for 2 years, making many friends, if you know what I mean, through France and Italy and like England and. Like, man, they're just characters. And these guys are just the best. So, I mean, that's one of those things. I know that most people don't aspire to carry other people's luggage, but I mean, you really meet some people. I mean, we the Oklahoma City bombing had happened during that year, and we had a bunch of people come in from Oklahoma, and everybody knew somebody who had been killed or injured, and just you felt so bad for them, just for everybody in the city that had been hurt, and it's like it reveals a nurturing side of you. You just want to make sure they have a good time while they're up here in overly expensive Boston. Of course, back then the Red Sox were affordable, but I mean, these things happen. I do remember, actually, it's funny because anybody who's been in this kind of business, a lot of your interactions happen in elevators. And I remember this one guy was such a jerk. This one guy, he just started, I went up to his room to check him out, and he was really condescending. He said, okay, I have a laptop here. It's very expensive. You make sure you put it on there gently on the bell cart, and then you put this here. You don't touch. Okay, now make your way out of the room. I'll meet you in front of the elevator. And he was just a total condescending jerk. And he was like in my face. I remember going to the elevator and saying, "This laptop costs more than your life." Him saying to me at one point, and him like in my face, just he was like a nasty, mean jerk guy, and I'm thinking like, man, this guy's a piece of work. And so as we're leaving, he's like snapping at me. He's like, no, come on, I have to check out first. Hold on, or whatever. Or he's like, okay, and then, so then it's one of these days where all of the luggage is in the lobby because there's too many people checking out, and so the storage room is overflowed. So he found an empty space amongst the luggage, and he said, okay, no, let me just do it. Let me do it. And he grabs his luggage and his laptop and puts some in a certain space, and he's like, okay, that's fine. And I said, thank you very much. And he said, I think he said nothing. I remember he was so rude that I was like, I was blown away by it. And he said like nothing to me. He just turned and looked away, and he didn't tip me. And I remember being shocked by it. And I do believe, and I don't, this is, when I've told this story to people, that they've generally been disappointed in me. But there's a chance that the laptop was damaged. So there you go. I don't know. I mean, probably it's probably not a wise thing to do, and I hope people don't do that. But this guy was really a jerk. I mean, he was in the elite of jerks. I've met a few, but this guy was just terrible. Mostly I met wonderful people, great folks. And if you're in a position where you can empower, you can use empowerment in a hotel to make people happy, and then that's good. I mean, after 9/11, we had all the flight attendants in the flight crews were staying with us, and obviously they were shell shocked, and everybody in the country was. But these people, we had one of the flight crews that went into one of the planes had just checked out of our hotel, so they went to our hotel, went to the plane, and slammed into the World Trade Center. So they were all upset, but it was nice to be able to see them and to try to help them. But anyway, we don't have to talk about it. Why does everything have to be sad? I don't have to talk about those times. There's some great times though, especially being a concierge at the ascension of the Red Sox when they were really starting to get good in the late 90s, like 99, 2000, 2001, and getting tickets for people for the Sox. You'd have big New Yorkers. They're all like Trump, they're big New Yorkers, foul-mouthed. Yeah, we're from the city, and they'd come in and they'd want Red Sox tickets, and really they wanted to pay any price. Half their whole thing was, usually it was Red Sox Yankees games, but their whole deal was that they were bragging to their friends that they would drop any amount of money for Red Sox tickets. So yeah, there was a lot of money to be made from these Yankees. New Yorkers were always the best tippers. New York men were the best tippers. In Boston, Canadians were not good tippers. Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's because of the VAT system, but Canadians were not. That was usually a red flag if they're Canadians. And then, of course, Europeans generally not, because they have the VAT tax there or something. They just don't throw around a whole lot of money. Not good tippers. And it's funny. Their difference, there was, when I worked at one of the hotels, we would have a lot of Japanese men come in. And they were great and interesting. They were coming in to do business with MIT generally. But, man, their luggage was so heavy. And I always wonder, like, how is this piece of luggage like 180 pounds? What's going on? And I just wonder if they were, like selling samples of battleship anchors or something. Because the luggage was heavy. Man. That was interesting, that hotel. That hotel that was near MIT. There were a lot of the people who checked in would call escorts, and and the escorts were there was one in particular, I forgot her name, like Annie or something. She was gorgeous, probably 22 or whatever. Supposedly paying her way through Harvard. Supposedly that was the deal, but she was really sweet, and she'd always pull up to the front of the area so that her car's right way at the end, so we don't have to move it. She'd toss you her keys. She'd go upstairs, and she'd come back like exactly a half hour later or whatever. Always in good spirits. It was very interesting. Not that I suggest it, but this is the kind of people you meet. We had a guy, actually, one of the tour bus drivers, had asked where he took the tour bus. In other words, let me just say this. One of the tour bus drivers for senior citizens who like to leaf peep, after they were all checked in, he took the tour bus down to a shady part of town to find some company and to party in the bus. And he did. And there he went. And, the next morning, there he was back with the bus. And this, goodness. My goodness. We had Bill Gates come in to that hotel one time. And I was thrilled. I wanted to meet him. And I was the door man, damn it. And I was holding the door open for Bill Gates. And he was dressed totally like a Microsoft guy from that time. This is 95, so this is this is the heyday. And he had the khakis and the blue shirt. And somebody totally, as I'm opening the door for him, all of his Microsoft geek friends opened the door and to let him in their door instead. It's like, Jesus, I wanted to say hi to this guy. He's going to be someone. I'm talking about Bill Gates. Jay is back now.
I'm out of breath.
Oh, sorry. Say again.
I'm out of breath.
Yeah, the stairs don't lift around.
Exactly. There's 45 stairs to come up here.
Yeah, and then I'm just recollecting some of the great times and experiences. That there's a silver lining to having worked in this in hospitality. So it's not always bad. Obviously, there's just incredible people you meet, some jerks and all that stuff.
Can you repeat everything you said since I left?
Yes. No, I was just saying that I almost meant to keep Bill Gates at at somewhere. Big guy. He's a big, big, tall, thick guy. He's not the skinny like string bean that you think that he was.
Huh.
Maybe someday, but he's tall. He's like at least 6'2".
Yeah, you wouldn't think that.
No, you don't think that about a lot of people. Like Aykroyd is huge. Dan Aykroyd,
oh yeah,
huge dude.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean,
like the Shattuck's huge.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, just like really tall.
Yeah,
big head. He's like, yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't have to go through them all.
One by one.
Okay, what did your wife say?
No, she doesn't feel well, so she's gonna. Yeah, so.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I know you missed out on the last impromptu.
And now they're all over forever.
I wouldn't say that.
This is number 10. This is number 10.
Yeah.
Should have did more reading podcast.
Thanks for listening, Phil.
Thank you, Phil. The idea is that talking about being the best and greatest and the pluses minus with that. We veered off a little bit, but who cares? All right, so we need you to do that. Make all your noises into the microphone.
Hello.
So that was a Twitter at shoulda did more, Instagram I shoulda did more reading, Facebook.com I shoulda did more reading, website I shoulda did more reading.com, email I shoulda did more reading at gmail.com. Subscribe to iTunes or YouTube. Jay, Phil for a second, will you?
iTunes, YouTube, and go ahead. We're also on Google Play. We're also on Stitcher, TuneIn, and that is all of them. So try to look us up. And in regards to Get Lean in 18, we will be back with you probably in 2 weeks after we finish the football season. Maybe we can focus a little bit better then. Anything else, Tom?
I think we're good.
Well, thank you for listening. See you, Phil.